Yep, you guessed it. Krist, like I just said in the subject title thing or whatever, they just came and got him like a couple minutes ago and taken him to OSU East again. And this is a heck of a way to start out my son's 20th birthday today. My son Noah turns 20 today, and it is after midnight, so happy birthday, son. But Dad's in the hospital again, so I wonder what it's going to be this time. Pneumonia again, infection in his lung again. It just never ends. And I'm on the bright side, hopefully, or brighter side anyway. I might be getting some training soon. How to become a like a home health aide, nurse aide kind of person. Someone looked into it for us, and I went through the process. I submitted the application, the whole deal, on the phone, and I'm waiting for 1 or 2 days to hear from them. They said that I seem to qualify for the training, and it's looking like I'm going to need it. My hope is that by learning these new skills, it will help me with my temperament. It will help me evaluate things differently and in a more positive as I can, kind of perspective. But yeah, I don't even try to count anymore, because this it happens too much. And he tries, to be fair. Krist does try. He tries to be, he's diligent about taking his meds. And, I've been trying to be, more of a supportive partner. Not that I haven't been up to this point, but you guys have heard my rants and ventings about, oh no, not again, not this again. How long is he going to be gone this time? And it's very difficult. And I can, hopefully this person that looked into it for us says that there may be a way that I'll be able to do it, make what I'm going to make from learning the skills and getting my license or whatever ends up happening, to basically prove I have the authority to do this, and I have the skills and training. Apparently you can make $1,800 a month easy. And if I can do that and not lose my SSI, which this friend of Krist's is going to try and look into a little bit further and see if there's a possible way, please, Goddess, please, 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 that I'll be able to keep my full amount of my SSI check. They won't be able to take it away from me. And I'll be able to, still add the 1,800 budget every month, because if this keeps happening, I mean, I'm gonna utilize it to make a backup plan, of which I've been talking about before. What happens if he passes away? Hopefully that won't happen. I do my training, I do it well, I get my license or whatever, and I will do my very best to keep him from having to make numerous trips into the hospital every time we turn around. He was only home for a couple of weeks this time. And it's just nothing's working. None of his breathing meds were working. He did a breathing treatment that didn't work. They won't give him double antibiotics like they should. And I can't help but think and feel and wonder if part of the reason why they're not giving him the double antibiotics to get this stuff cleared up once and for all is because they like the fact that he has to keep coming back in, because then that's more money in their pocket. I hope I'm wrong. I hope they genuinely do care about their patients and they don't want to see them back in there, but this still keeps happening. And once again, I get the fun job of making all the phone calls tomorrow to let everybody know that he's back in a hospital again. Was going to spend the weekend at my mom's starting today, but it's looking like I don't need to do that now, because I'm hoping that they'll at least keep him over the weekend. Maybe longer. We'll see. But I don't wish this on him any more now than I ever have. Ouch. Freaking cold sore trying to form again. That's all I need. Well, hopefully they'll keep him, however long they're going to keep him. Hopefully they'll keep him at that location, because it is the closest to our house still. It's, just like maybe a 20, maybe a 30-minute drive somewhere in that neighborhood from here to there. It's just a jaunt straight down Broad Street, till you get past East High School, and then you turn right at that street, which is Taylor. And I can take it down, and, they get you checked in. He had his socks on this time, but he didn't have a jacket on. Not even his warm flannel shirt thing that, has warm lining stuff in it, sometimes fleece, sometimes something else. But it is getting chillier now. The temperatures are cooling. And so, yeah, this is the time to start dressing a little warmer, have a jacket or sweater or something with you at all times if possible, so you can throw one on if you need to. I really don't want to go through this again. I don't want to see him go through it again, and I know he doesn't either. But what can we do? His body is not, it just keeps, I don't know. It's like it's fighting tooth and nail. I hate these stupid pop-up things because they keep happening. But in conclusion, I guess my hope is that the training will help me, that it will help me not get so upset about things, because at least I'll have a better understanding of things, and therefore have a different kind of solution that I can work on, and be able to be a good nurse aide, health aide, whatever. To me, they're one and the same. But and there's a possibility that Norma, she may be moving to New York, and that means one of the apartments, that her apartment may very well become available in the building. Bella, please stop. In light of this happening, I decided to, pop on and do a live because I haven't been able to in a while. And I mean, I definitely don't want this to be the inspiration behind why I decided to do one, because it's not. It's not easy to keep going through this, and Krist did say today how bad he feels, that he needs this much help from anyone, because Krist has always been very independent, like myself, and he doesn't like not being able to take care of himself anymore. He doesn't like all these multiple trips, any more than I do, back into the hospital. And yes, I'm tearing up a bit because this could just as easily be a brother for somebody, a husband, an uncle, a grandpa, it's a dad. It goes on and on. And I had one of those witchy feelings again today that I wanted to be wrong. He's going to end up in the hospital again. I just know it. He's going to end up in the hospital again. And I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up deciding to go tonight. Well, he's there. But on a happier note, sorry, my brain just kind of went blank. On November 1st, me and Normia get to go to the Witches Ball through Magical Druid. So any of you that are watching or that see this, I hope I see you there. If there's any of you in the area or that can get to the Witches Ball that goes, you might want to get your tickets by this weekend. I'm talking today, tomorrow, Sunday, because these tickets are going fast. My friend Normia just shelled out $60, 64.80 or something like that. It was to get us tickets, because it's $30 a person. And I decided to go with ball only. So from 5 to 11, we're going for the ball itself. But I don't know that, like, if extra is required, to be able to stay and do the ritual. If not, that's okay, because most likely I will have done a sewing ritual myself the day before. On Winding Road, Coven is going to be there, and they decided to go to the Witches Ball this year instead of having a ceremony in someone's backyard, which I think is great. And this is the third Witches Ball I've been to now, but the last Witches Ball I got to go to was 2005. So yeah, that's like 20 years ago. I asked Krist if he wanted me to unplug his charger, for his phone, so he could take it. And he said no. He said, don't worry about the charger. Just make sure I have my phone. I'm like, okay. So I handed him his phone. Now I got to pay the water bill today. I've got to pay the rent today. He left me his card and the money that he had for the water bill. So I'll be able to get the money orders for the water bill and the rent. And I might just do the math and just go ahead and get one money order that has both amounts, like John is always asking us to do. And he, of course, had to leave his toolbox here, which this he calls his toolbox because that's like one of those, excuse me, lovely little multi-purpose knife kind of. There's knives, there's corkscrews, there's cork openers, there's saws, there's scissors, there's all kinds of stuff in this thing. But I don't want to start pulling stuff open and then not be able to possibly, excuse me, not be able to shut the stuff back, close it back down, because I don't want to break his toolbox thingy here that he likes. And also on a good note, we got a new TV. It's slightly smaller than the last one, but it's still a 43-inch, so it's still a nice TV. I have yet to learn to navigate the new remotes and stuff, though, because the remote is totally different, and you get so many like extra channels and extra thises and that's and the others. And Krist, bless him, stumbled across one of our absolute favorites. He stumbled across a channel that has nothing but classic Doctor Who episodes. Like, I'm talking all the way back to the very first Doctor. Okay, all the way up to, well, not to today, but, classics. So however far it goes, that they consider them classic. And it turns out that Tom Baker was Doctor Who number 4. He was Doctor number 4. That was the one that I remember from my childhood when I first saw Doctor Who for the very first time. It was an episode or some episodes that had Tom Baker in it, and I forget who the girl was this time, his companion, But it was an interesting, all the Doctor Who's are good. And when you see the ones that you've never seen, it's like, wow, that's really how they did things back then. I mean, the stuff is so obviously fake, but you still love it. You still enjoy it, us Who fans in that sense. I'm doing really good with my self card and my Open Sky and my Dave card. I pay them off fully each month when it lets me, and keep the balance at 0 if I can. Make my payments as soon as my check's loaded. That's the first 3 things I take care of. I get my Open Sky paid off, whatever the balance is. I get my self card paid off, whatever that balance is. And I get my Dave card. I put 50 back on it, which it actually takes out 60 because it's $10, because you can get up to $50 at a time, like $50 a month, basically. Now, I don't know if at some point in the future, the Dave app and therefore the Dave card is going to maybe evaluate me or something to where they will give me as much as $100 a month, But I really do enjoy having that extra cash when I need it. I get this training and I start making $1,800 a month. Yeah, I'm not going to complain. My phase 10 program still is not going anywhere because now I'm going to have to wait until we get our next check, which will be the end of this month. And as soon as our checks are loaded, I'm going to text Mr. Lindsay and tell him, please, 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 Mr. Lindsay, take the 130 out now, right now, this second. Stop what you're doing. I hate to interrupt anything important you might be doing or whatever, but please take the money now because I want to make sure you get it this time, because I don't want to wait another month before I can get my cards, my stamps, and my peel and stick labels. 2 of the 30 flyers that I sent out have already returned. So that means there's 28 out there yet that I'm still hopeful every day that some of them will join and this and that. But then part of me is also not weird, but worried about, you know, lost my train of thought. Once my card gets loaded, I want to get that stuff. I get that stuff paid off first thing, which keeps my balance low. And I've got a lot of other credit card companies and stuff that have already tried to give me a card. But then when I submit the application, of course, it turns me down because I have 3 of them outstanding right now. Not out only because I can't pay on them until, this month sometime, whenever we get our checks. Apparently, according to Krist, and I need to verify this, I need to call one of the news channels, or I need to look it up on, because I Googled it and it said that Halloween night, the 31st, is when they were going to have trick-or-treating. And Krist is saying, no, they're going to have it on the 30th. So I need to know, is it going to be on the 30th or is it going to be on the 31st? Because I still want to ask my daughter Zephyr if she is going to be able to attend at all. Man, I hope I didn't break this thing. It's not hooking like it should. I don't think it's gonna shut. Oh well, I've still got the clippy part, so I can still clip it on my shirt or whatever. But, I've said it before. I'll probably say it a million more times before it's over. And if the opportunity arises, I'm taking it. If a better love comes along and this is the love that I've been looking my whole life for but haven't yet found, and they have money and they have power and they have status and they have their own estate. They're, very, very wealthy. They're CEO of their company. They have very flexible schedules. So they will definitely promise to spend a decent amount of time with me, and they will keep that promise. But they will also have to be okay with just being friends for now, because I want to take the time to get to know the person, because every time I don't do that, I end up regretting it later and they become some horrible monster that I wish I never got involved with in the first place. I still have my feelings about Krist. I still have my disappointments, my upsets, but I'm not turning him away either. I'm not going to kick him out with nowhere to go. And with his health being as bad as it is, it's like, I just don't know how many more of these trips are going to end up happening. And, I need my phase 10 program to start taking off and, making this money, because it's going to be probably one of the few things that I'm going to be able to have to sustain myself, to get us out of here, get us into a nicer place, an actual house somewhere, and have the money to back it, which for a while there, we were overconfident that Norma was going to join us. And well, that's changed. And I don't hold it against her at all. Her sister needs her. Norma has been a resource as far as support and everything for Anna. And Anna has just gotten to the point to where she feels like all she has left is her sister Norma. And I can understand completely. She even gave Pillow, this male cat, back to Christy, because that's where he originally came from. Christy had his mom, but he's been away from them for 3 years. And all her cats are grown just like he is. And now he's going to have to readjust to being back there again. And now she's got 5 cats. And she's about to have 6, bless her. That's a lot of cats. I don't know how much longer Mr. Conte is going to put up with this before he's going to be like, either the animals go or you go, because this is too much. Because if she's not going to stop at 5, then who's to say she's going to stop at 6? I love her. I would do the same if I had the money, if I had the resources. I know there's a lot of no-kill shelters out there and whatnot, and I am very, very grateful for every one of them, for the lives that they save, and they try to house these animals. But when somebody just throws their animal out in the street after years of loyal service and unconditional love that they have always gotten from that pet, and then they just kick them out one day, they just abandon them and leave them to their own devices and could care less if they live or die. People like that should never, never be allowed to own an animal, because they're not going to take care of it. They're not going to appreciate it. They're not going to be okay with the responsibility that you have to take on when you have pets. And it doesn't matter what pet. It could be a dog, it could be a cat, it could be birds, fish, snakes, you name it. It can be virtually anything. I'm trying to stay positive here, and I don't know that I feel up to doing anything other than just this update that I am definitely not happy about reporting yet again. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Something has got to change, because things are just not working the way they should. And if this training is exactly, what I need to give myself a sense of purpose, give myself a direction, a positive focal point, ace this training, get certified, or whatever needs to happen. Like I said before, it's like, okay, it's official. You're a home health aide. Congratulations. But right now, my only client, hopefully, is going to be Krist. But if they find out that we're together and we're a couple, I don't know that they will let me, because I tried to do this for my mom a while back, and it was researched, looked into, and they said, no, you're not allowed to do it. You're not allowed to be that home health aide for your family, which I think is wrong. I guess they're thinking that, you're going to take liberties or whatever that you shouldn't. Which I would never do. It's like, just because this is my mom doesn't mean that I'm going to start violating stuff, left and right. I mean, I won't violate anything at all. I'll play by the rules. I will do what my job requires, but until I get accomplished enough in this field, I'm only going to be able to learn one client at a time. And the last thing I would ever want is for that client to be my own partner. But I'm just at my wit's end here, and I know he is too, and something's got to give. Something's got to change. I can't keep going through this. I hate that he keeps going through this. I have to keep telling him to stop beating himself up, because he doesn't like relying on others. He's always been very self-sufficient and independent. Like I said, like me, he does not like that he can't take care of himself anymore. Not like he once did. And now it's become like an everyday occurrence. Not every day, but it seems like it. All too often, a reoccurring occurrence that he ends up right back in the hospital again. And it's like, oh no, not again. Please, not again. This stuff is really just taking its toll on me. And my heart is heavy once again because this is happening once again. And I just don't want to keep going through this. And I hope this training gives me the strength and the determination and commitment even more to stick with it. And because, you're doing a service for someone that needs it and you're getting certified, just another average Jane out there, trying to save as many people as I can, help as many people as I can. It's just a lot for one person to go through, and as many times as we have gone through it already, it just seems like this endless vicious cycle that he's okay for a while and then he's back in there again. Because these people, they really need to step up and they need to give him the double antibiotics if that's what he's got to do. I hope they don't go the steroid route again, because when they did that before, that's when he acted like he was loco on me. And it was so upsetting to Norma that she had to literally get up and walk out of the room because she started crying, because neither one of us wanted to see him go through that, because she's already gone through that with her own husband, Kenny, when he died 11 years ago. And now she's moving to New York. I hope she finds happiness there. I hope that she finds the strength to be there for her sister and enjoy this time and maybe end up with the house. Once Anna's gone and Pablo's gone, I hope one of the first things that Norma does is kick some people out that need to be kicked out of there, that's still there, that don't deserve the place. And as much as I hate to say this, her daughter Margaret is one of them. Anna's daughter Margaret is the top of the list, because she's putting her mother through HE double toothpicks. She's trying to drive her to an early grave, and she doesn't appreciate her mom at all. She doesn't appreciate anything that she has. She's not grateful in the slightest for anything she has. So guess what that means? The law of attraction states, ye who appreciates all that you have will be blessed with more. Ye who does not appreciate what you have will lose it all. Then what? Did a few resin pieces, but I didn't get the composition right on a couple of them, so I don't think they're going to solidify to the point they need to be. And it's a shame, because my skull and snake one really turned out nice, but it's not solidifying like it should. I didn't mix the two components together like I should. And I should have went 50, 50 of A and 50 of B. And I didn't do that. I went 60, and then, it's not I as well say 60-40, and that's not right because the stuff's not solidifying like it should. And the skull and snake one seems to be disintegrating, and I don't know why, because when I first took it out of the mold, it was fine. Seemed like it was fine. Seemed like it was pretty much on its way to being completely hardened like it should be. So, you can display it, and this one that I did is a candle holder. But it's one of those that you have to literally set the candle on the top of it. There's like a little flat base, which the most that I would probably ever put up there would be a tea light, or some of the little candles like these, but then put them in one of the little tea light tins so that it hopefully won't melt all over the piece. And then I have to frickin' dump hot water on it constantly to get the wax off of it. So I'm going to have fun this weekend. I'm going to treat this time as if I was staying at my mom's and enjoy this time to myself, and just keep putting the positive energies and everything out there to that he'll be okay. And, this training will happen, and then I will be in a lot better shape, to be able to be a good health aide, because I'll have training. And it's a big step. I realize that it's a big responsibility, and I welcome it, as hard as I know it's going to be, but try to manifest it to where it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and I ace it and do it no problem. It's like, what, this is what I'm born to do, kind of thing. And the words keep echoing in my head from the lovely Miss Nancy Pinyard, who paid me a visit last Saturday when I went to the Psychic Forum at the Spiritualist Temple where she used to reside, and she used to be a pastor there. Carol is still there, bless her. She's in her 70s now, which she's completely white hair. And I got to see her and gave her a hug and everything, and said, you need to let me read you sometime, see if I'm ready to take a table. Well, I already know I am. But it's still Carol's church. She still has the authority. So even though her and I go way back, all the way to, she baptized Michael, my oldest son. She helped with the baptism because we did it at that church. This one ain't doing too good. Krist had to turn the fan down really low too, because he was actually sitting here shivering, seemed like he was going through the male version of menopause, where one minute he's hot, the next minute he's cold, then he's hot, then he's cold, then he's hot, then he's cold. So, Noah, to change the subject to something positive, because if I don't, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to end up in tears. And I'm fighting back the tears already. So this is partly my birthday gift to you, son. Because I'm probably not going to be able to get you much else. Probably not going to be able to see you on your birthday today. I might call you and wish you a happy birthday sometime today when I'm up and awake enough. But happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Sorry about the news from Dad. It's a shame that this has to happen on your birthday, but have a good birthday, okay? I love you, and I'm going to go ahead and read through chapter 2 of Teen Witch and hope that you will be, well, hang on, my book fell. Ow! Now my hair's getting tangled in my glasses. What next? Secrets that aren't secrets anymore. The basics of witchcraft. Secrets. Doesn't the word secret make you think of something quiet, personal, secluded, special? We all love secrets, but we hate mysteries. When someone tells us we can't have access to those secrets. Many witches have experienced persecution because the religion of Wicca has lots of secrets. In the past, witches haven't readily shared these secrets, which resulted in lots of accusations that simply weren't true. Some pretty rotten things have happened to the witches, all because we hold our secrets so dear. To stop people from hurting us, we decided to tell our secrets. Today, thanks to many magical people, some famous, others not, the religion of witchcraft has moved out of the closet of secrecy and into the general community. To do this, witches discussed their secrets. Funny, once people heard the secrets, they thought the information wasn't so special at all and didn't believe that those secrets represented the real mysteries. Silly them. Anything can be a secret if you don't talk about it. The special part comes when you don't tell. One of the biggest secrets in the craft is we are all one. That's the great mystery. We all connect, people, plants, and animals. All these things, including the planet we live on, become sacred to us. Witches believe that if you hurt someone, you really hurt yourself. Therefore, we don't try to harm anyone or anything. All the Wiccan secrets are just like this one. Simple ideas that you could have come up with yourself, or you have heard from someone before. Each secret contains its own kind of empowerment. For example, by knowing that we are all one, then we seek to do the best that we can for everyone, not just ourselves. That's real power. While you are reading the remainder of this book, you may feel that some of the terms I use are not explained in depth. I want to make sure that you are familiar with these terms without bogging your brain with details at this time. Especially since most teens reading this book plan to work alone, let me assure you that everything you need to begin studying the craft is here. Who are the witches? Recent statistics tell us that witchcraft is the fastest growing religion in the United States today. To give you an idea of the witch population, the Wiccan Pagan Press Alliance has concluded that we have as many witches in the United States as published writers. Yay! You'll find people who practice the Wiccan faith in every type of job and in every social structure in the country. One person in every 5 either knows a witch or has practiced some sort of magical theory in their lifetime. Several parents in your school system right now practice the craft. If witches are so prevalent, you say, how come I don't know any? Well, you probably do, but because of the various forms of persecution that witches have experienced in the past, most of them aren't walking up and down the street proclaiming their faith. The most powerful witches in the United States today look just like everyone else, have families, and hold stable jobs. You'll find witches in medicine, engineering, aeronautics, insurance, sales, food service, journalism, the police force, science, and any other career you can imagine. Some very famous actors and actresses are witches too. You'll find witches everywhere, quietly going about their business and practicing their faith in private. Can you be a witch? Of course you can. Today, anyone can practice the art and science of the craft. Anyone can practice the religion of witchcraft. The only requirements for entering the faith of the craft revolve around your willingness to work hard to learn the many facets of the system and your dedication to spirit. Many young people ask me if they can mix the religion of witchcraft with other religious practices. Yes, you can. But only after you finally understand the concept of the Wiccan religion and can move comfortably between the differences in both religious structures. You do not have to give up your current religion to investigate witchcraft. No ceremony exists where you must lay down your previous beliefs to begin a life in the craft. It is true that, as most individuals learn and grow within the structure of the craft, they leave their previous belief systems behind, but this comes from choice, not by demand of any person or any law in the craft. Spirit, the overall energy that runs the universe in a harmonious way. Wiccan traditions. Scott Cunningham, a celebrated author and one of the most famous American witches of our times, described Wiccan tradition in this manner: an organized, structured, specific subgroup, which is usually initiatory, often with unique ritual practices. Many traditions have their own books of shadows and usually recognize members of other traditions as Wiccan. Most traditions are composed of many covens and solitary practitioners. Just as Christianity has several factions, so does Wicca have its own subgroupings. Some sections take the names of specific cultures, such as Strega, which is Italian and Norse Germanic. Feminist witchcraft falls under the auspices of the Dianic witches, female-oriented and begun by the well-known and much-loved Z Budapest. Go Z! Then various sects, SECTS, take the names of those individuals that started them. Gardnerian, formed by Gerald Gardner in the 50s. Alexandrian, begun by Alex Saunders around the same time. The Cabot witches, begun by Laurie Cabot, official witch of Salem. Starhawkians, named after popular author Starhawk. And finally, we have family clans, those groups composed of several types of SECTS under one umbrella. The family of Serpent Stone, begun by the late beloved Will Martin. The Black Forest clan, which is my group, and Covenant of the Goddess, or COG. I know all of this can get confusing, but don't worry. These witches started studying somewhere, just like you. As you learn and grow in the craft, you may wish to join one of these groups. Then again, you may prefer to continue working as a solitary. The nice thing about all of the SECTSs listed is that although they may practice their ceremonies differently or have different requirements for entrance into their groups, each practices the same intent and follows the principles of Wiccan belief. Truly, it is our differences and our individualism that make us strong. A craft creation myth, the Lord and Lady. Long, long ago, the world slept in the arms of the dark void. From this place of nothingness, Spirit drew together and created Our Lady of Infinite Love. The Lady danced among the heavens, her feet beating out the rhythm of all creation. Sparks of light catapulted from her hair, giving birth to the stars and planets. As she twirled, these heavenly bodies began to move with her in the divine symphony of the universe. When her dancing quickened, she formed the seas and the mountains of earth. She chanted words of love and joy, and as these sounds fell to the earth, the trees and flowers were born. From the pure white light of her breath came the colors of the universe, turning all things to vibrant beauty. From the bubbling laughter in her throat sprang the sounds of the pristine running water of the streams, the gentle lapping vibrations of the lake, and the roaring screams of the oceans. Her tears of joy became the rains of our survival, and when her dancing slowed and the lady sought a companion to share the wonders of the world, Spirit created the god as her life mate and companion. Because she so loved the earth, Spirit made her companion half spirit, half animal, so that together the Lord and Lady could populate our planet. The Lord's power moves through her, and she showers the earth and all upon it with her blessings. Together, the Lord and Lady gave birth to the birds, animals, fishes, and people of our world. To protect and guide the humans, the Lord and Lady created the angels and power spirits. These energies walk with us always, though we often cannot see them. To each bird, the Lady gave a magic song, and to each animal, the Lord bestowed the instinct to survive. The Lord is the master of the animal and vegetable kingdoms, and therefore wears the antlers of a stag, crowning his great head. This aspect of half man, half animal shows his joy in both the human and animal creations of the spirit, and he revels in this image. As the humans began to grow and prosper, the Lord and Lady saw the need for healers among their own kind. And so they drew forth energy from the realm of the angels, the realm of the power animals, and the realm of the humans to create the witches. The witches brought with them the wisdom of the Lord and Lady, the ability to heal, and the art of magic. The Lady taught the witches how to cast a magic circle and talk to spirit. And the Lord taught the witches how to communicate with the spirits of air, fire, earth, and water, and commune with the animal and plant kingdoms. At first, the humans accepted the witches. Getting bit again, as always. Never fails. I see you, little bastard, trying to hide. Well, you ain't hiding from this witch. At first, the humans accepted the witches and treated them fairly. But because the witches were different, other humans began to fear the wise ones of the Lord and the Lady. Thus, the witches became the hidden children, conducting their rites of positive energy in secret, lest they risk capture and death at the hands of fearful humans. As the world grew darker with ignorance and hate of human creation, the Lady took the body of the moon to represent the gentle light of her perfect peace, and the Lord took the vibrant rays of the sun as his symbol of strength and perfect love. And once a month, when the moon is full, the witches celebrate and remember the blessings our mother has bestowed upon us. We call forth her energy to help us take care of ourselves, our families, our planet, and our friends. 4 times a year, as the sun cycles through the seasons, the witches celebrate the festivals of the fire and honor the Lord and his love for us. At the 4 quarters of the seasons, the witches honor the cycle of life and the gifts of the earth. The Lady has many names: Isis, Astarte, Bride, Diana, Aradia, and thousands more. And the Lady walks within and beside each woman of every race. The Lord has many faces, from the strong Cernunnos to the delightful Pan. He guards and guides us and resides in each man of every race. When thunder roars in the heavens and lightning cracks from the ground, The Lord and Lady dance the divine myth of creation so that we may remember them and know that we are never alone. When the sun rises each morning, we bask in the joy of his love for us. And when the moon moves through her phases, we understand the cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth, as is the nature of our kind. When it is our time, the witches enter the summer land from the spirit that moves and flows through the Lord and Lady. We continue to learn the mysticism of the universe so that we may return life after life to serve our brothers and sisters in each lifetime. Spirit guides us through learning experiences, preparing us along the way for our individual missions. Sometimes we are born among our own kind, and in other instances, we must seek out our spiritual family. Many of us do not remember our chosen path until we reach adulthood, but others, from the time they form their own thoughts, know instinctively of their heritage. We are the witches, the representatives of wisdom's growth on our planet. We are the hidden children back from the dead. We are the people, the power, the change. And we have incarnated in every race and every culture. We are the angels of earth. Reincarnation. One of the primary building blocks of the Wiccan faith includes the belief in reincarnation. When witches die, we believe that we go to a place called the Summerland. In this realm of joy and learning, we reunite with those we love and begin to reassess our life on earth. When we are ready, we return to the earthly plane to continue to work out our karma. Memories of former lives often surface when one studies the craft, though we must keep in mind that who we were isn't as important as who and what we are now. Our task is to complete our personal missions so that we can become better people and enrich our souls. Witches universally believe that we are responsible for our actions, and we must accept that responsibility with clear thinking and an honest heart. If we become lost in following what once was, we can't complete what we can be. Next up, the cone of power. But for a minute here, I've got to close that, and I've got to get my nail polish and put it on yet another bed bug bite. You may say, why do you do that? Well, for one thing, the smell of it will keep any others from bothering me in that area at least, or I mean, they'll just go bite somewhere else most likely, but it stops the itching. And my black nail polish is what I've got handy. The cone of power, daily devotions, properly prepared. I'm just seeing how many pages are in this chapter. The oath of secrecy, vanishing pentagram, equal armed cross, goddess symbol, dedication and initiation, the high priestess and the high priest, our special days, Sabbats and Espiths, wheel of the year, the greater Sabbats, oh yeah, the lesser Sabbats, sacred space. There's a lot in these chapters, guys. That's a lot of pages. I'm going to pause there for a minute because, well, for one, the eye strain, that you can very, very easily cause yourself. And I just saw another fucking spot where the little bastard bit me. Do I like constantly anointing myself with nail polish? No. It's just, it stops the itching, and it keeps me from scratching, because as the nail polish dries, it acts as kind of like a Band-Aid. When you put a Band-Aid on a cut, it kind of stops the flow of things, in this case the itching, so I'm not constantly scratching freaking putting scratch marks all over my arms from my own self from scratching because they itch so much. Might want to take that off. So, in light of recent events and the fact that he's back in the hospital again, I'll read some more of the Teen Witch chapter when I get up later, guys. But as you well know, this is a lot to deal with, and this is not the first go around of going through this, and it's like, I just keep trying to find positive things to focus on, and like reading out of the book and stuff like that, teaching you, my son Noah, the only way I can right now, really, because it's just too hard for us to physically get together because you're all the way in Mansfield and I'm all the way here. I hate this off-brand stuff because it is so nasty. It just has a taste about it that's like bleh. And I don't like it, but it does the job, and it's not like I'm taking it every half hour, but then there's days when sometimes you have to take it several times, and you can take it literally every half hour. So I don't want to overdo it. And I hope the heck I'm not coming down with a fucking cold that I've caught from one of my cats. Because yes, they can get colds just like humans. And the messed up part in my particular situation is not Carmela, Kalika, my familiar. She's laying over here next to me. Actually, her and Bella are laying next to each other. That's shocking. But she's the one that likes to be on my lap all the time and everything. She lost my train of thought again. I'm tired. And this is here we go again. That's all I can say at this point. Here we go again. And how long is he going to be in this time? It's a lot. It's really a lot. And I'm taking on the added responsibility as best I can. But it's a lot. There's going to be days when I am such a mess that I am definitely not going to feel up to getting on here. But there's always going to be a part of me that wishes I could feel better on my bad days so that I could, be on here in more of a committed fashion. Ouch. Ow, ow, ow. Ow! Oh, I hate when the tangles are that bad, when they're like right down on your skin, close to the scalp. Because then you literally feel like you're pulling your hair out because you have to fight with it so much to get all the tangles out. And it just dumbfounds me that my hair can get this tangled with it being this short. It's like, what the F? But I will try to do more of the Teen Witch later today. But I think I'm gonna call it a night, guys. I'm gonna get me some sleep. I got a bunch of additional responsibility once again that I have to take on, and I've got to be in top form when I do. So blessed be. Whoops, too soon. Turned it off too soon. Thanks for hanging out for a minute, and thank you for all of you that watched this through. Yay, I'm going to the Witches Ball November 1st. Yay, yay, yay. I'm very, very happy. And looking forward to all the fun that's going to come from that. And they will let us stay for ritual, because I'll be like, look, you got to let us stay for ritual. I've never done this Witches Ball before, so I didn't know if I should go with the day pass or the regular, just the ball, because the day pass, apparently you can be there, as soon as the doors open and they start for the day. But the ball only, if you do ball only, which that's what I did for me and Norma, then you supposedly, I guess you're not even supposed to show up there till 5. And I believe Brian said that we're going to have a social thing before the ritual, before going to the ball at him and his husband's place, which will be nice. I'm really looking forward to that. And around 7, I think, or something like that, I believe Brian said, is when they're going to start heading that way, because that's when ritual starts or whatever. So I'll find out what this day pass thing's all about. And if I decide to go through with it and do it, hopefully they'll let me this time and not charge me anything. But next year, it's like, I'll make sure that I save back the extra money so that I can do this. And I think it's great. I really do. I think it's great that Winding Road Coven is they're changing it up a bit. They're changing it up. Instead of doing it in somebody's backyard, we're going to the Witches Ball. So I think that's great. Thank you to all my followers, as always. All my subs on here, I appreciate you all greatly. I will continue to get on here off and on as much as I can right now. But on a list of a million things, I can't put this at the top. If there are certain days when I feel like, okay, I want to just go ahead and do this now, then I will. But then there's going to be other days when I might not be on at all, or it's going to be some random time in the evening or something like that, because I know different people work different shifts. Different people work, they live in different time zones. So you have all that stuff you have to take into account and decide, okay, yeah, there's going to be times and days when I'm going to be on here that people can't be on because they're in a different time zone. So when it's like 3:00 here, it's like 5 hours later somewhere else, and it's like, oh boy. So stay wild, Moonchild. Blessed be everybody. Happy birthday, son. Again, I will do a live stream on here today to celebrate and honor your birthday. Hope you can pop on and say hey. Love y'all. Peace. See you next time.